Hi everyone, it's JT here. Today video I will be reviewing all the method of extracting geometry. If you already watched my previous video, you know that there are some way that you can extract geometry, and this video will show you multiple ways, uh, many methods that you can extract geometry, or even without extract geometry you can still create toolpaths. The second one will be doing a 3D orientation, or model orientation, because sometimes when you import a model in, it doesn't sit like the way that you want it to be. If you do, let's say, this part right here, if you want to do this one first, so you have to orientation the part the way that you want, and when you import the model in, it not like orient correctly, so you have to make the adjustment. The third part will be doing a tool setup with 3D holders, so when you render it you can see exactly what it look like. This is good when you want to machine something that had a small space, small room. You are afraid of it gonna hit the vine, hit the table, and this one is useful, especially when you doing 5-axis machine, and I will show you how to set it up correctly. Even without machine sim, you still be able to see the tool holder, and see if it hits something or not. So let's get to the video. Well, as you can see here, there are multiple ways that you can extract geometry. Let's create a new work group so you don't see all those geometry, right? So the first one I show you, just highlight it and right click, extract geometry, or you can highlight it and then you go into geometry, extract geometry, the same thing, but there are multiple ways you can do it, right? The second one is I show you before with this tab right here, slide plane. Okay, slide plane. You can drag this one to wherever you want it to be, or you can set the depth where you want it to be. Remember, profiler depth. Okay, and then you just set that depth to where you want it to be. And then you just extract like normal extraction. Okay, that's the third one, and then the last one will be doing using this edge selection. I do this sometime, and you can see it show up the, and then you just extract it. Oh, I think that's one already extracted, but let's see this one. See, you double click it, select it, and then right click the extract, and then extract the geometry. And then remember last time I showed you using this without extract geometry, you can still create a toolpath. So let's show you real quick, just in case there's somebody doesn't watch that video, and just select that and do it. So there you go. There are many ways, many methods that you can extract geometry to create a toolpath. Sometimes even without extract geometry, you can still create toolpaths. But if it's like complicate part or many feature on the part, then I usually extract geometry, and so I can have it program more efficiently. All right, so going to the next part, we'll be doing orientation the model. Let's delete all this. Right, let's say if when you import a model in, if it look like this, that's already good, already ready for you to make the program. But let's say if you import it in, it look like this, but you don't want it to do this side first. You want to do this side first, for example, right? So there are two ways. You can just highlight it, right click, align fade to CS. So there you go. You have the other side that you want to do it first. Or you can use this and go in here. I think it's the same thing. The last one, go into solid alignment and then select the face and then click the last tab, and there you go. You have the the setup that you want if you want to do this one first, right? So let's do that again. There you go. All right, but let's say if you import something in and it doesn't look like the way that you want it to be, to do it first. Let's see, I create the same, but I rotate something here, so it look kind of weird, right? Because it is. So what do you do if you want to do this one first, right? So sometime you have to, let's try this, see if it work. Okay, so it doesn't work like the way I want it to be. So that's why I do this one first. Right, so I tried that one and it looked good. It looked correctly. It line up correctly, right? Straight, okay. But this phase is not the phase that I wanted to do it first. So again, I just select this phase and then I do it again. And now, there you go. You have the part that you wanted to do. You want to set up the first off like this. So highlight it, right click, align, or highlight it, go to plug in, and then solid as alignment. And this tab, this option here, you can, let's say if you have multiple faces, you want to align with each other or something like that. Is useful when you have like a fixture or a vice that you want to orientation the part according to that vice or something. This one will be some other video I will be doing that. So there's two methods that I can show you here when you need to orientation the part the way that you want it to be. Let's see. Oh, I got this one right here too. So let's see what it is. Okay, so let's say if you import it in, it look like this. And then let's say if you want to do this face first, you just right click and then align face, right? Let's say if you want to do this one, then you just click align it, and then there you go. So now you have this one, this face here perpendicular to the z-axis. If you want to do this, you just go in here. If you don't want to do the right click, then you can use this one. All right, so those are multiple ways that you can use to orientation the part. Okay, so the next one I will be doing a tool setup for machine sim or op sim with the 3D holder. so you can set it up correctly. So when you make a two pass and you know exactly it's gonna be collide or crash into something. So first I have to import in a 3D model. Let's see. So, okay, I have here the ER28 383. That means the gauge length at 3 inches. So the gauge length, whatever gauge length is, usually uh, you have to figure it out, or the tool manufacturer will have like a 3D model or the print that where you know exactly what the gauge length is, and then you can put it in. So with this one, because I know that it's gonna be 3 inches because I use this model from the manufacturer. So when you import the tool holder in, make sure it's right in the XY plane and it's at center of that tool holder. Make sure it's at center so it's so in correctly, right? And then the Z of that usually it's right on the Z0 of the program that you make. So it's usually like that. And the gauge length is from here to here is 3 inches. So let's create a tool. Let's do number 8. Let's do an end meal. Right. Okay. So select end meal. Right now it's none, but let's do this stuff first. Let's see. So this one gonna be that you have in sharp corner. Okay. So this right here is your flute length. So your cutting area, flute length. Whatever your tool flute length is, you put in here, and this is important. If you stick out at 2 inches, you put here 2 inches, here 2 inches, right? So whatever you stick out the tool from the holder, you can use a caliber to get exactly to like a thousand or 10,000 or something like that. But 10,000 should be like uh, well enough to to render or to you when you have machine sim or op sim. But I would use the caliber to get whatever your stick out is, you put in here and here. Usually I put the same. And then this one right here, of course, is I think 99% of the machine that usually whatever tool you create, this one is the same because you want to use the same offset and the cutter comb the same. So whatever you offset, it will look for this to compensate. Some machine that you can put this one different, or let's say if you want to use different offset, then you can use different number. But for this video, for this purpose, I just use the same, right? So now we have the two set up. Flute. Okay, flute here is not very important if you calculate speed and feed by yourself. It's good when you use GibbsCam feed and speed calculator, but for this video, it doesn't matter to me. All right, so now you go in here, the option in here, you can use the tool holder Gib provide, but this one it just visualize it. It's not exactly what it is, what the tool you have. So I never really use this. I either use none or I use custom, where I use exactly the tool model of the manufacturer provide. And in here, when you select custom, it will show up this one. And of course, you select, sometimes it select profile, but you don't want to do that because you have the model, so you have to select the solid. And here, sometimes it highlight, it check, sometimes it doesn't, but make sure you check this. And then you put in 3 you put in 3 inches because the gauge length for this is 3 inches, right? And then you have to select the whole model and then click use selected model. Okay, now it's show up in here, and in here you will see exactly what the tool when you set up in the machine is, right? So let's create a tool path so you can see what I mean. Right, let's just say if you just profile outside here, you this one somewhere over here should be good. Okay, whatever it is, like previous tool path, it already create. I just select and do it. Okay, let's render it so you can see. Oops, I only need that one. Oh, by the way, if you want to render just one or two paths, right? You just select that two paths, highlight that two paths, and then you click check this, skip and select it off, so it only render that two paths. So that's a bonus for you for on this video. Let's see here, slow it down a little bit, please. Okay, let's turn this one into display so you know what it is. Okay, render slower, and you can see the tool and the tool holder like that. Okay, so you know that if it hits something, the vise, the fixture, the machine, this is useful when you do a 5-axis where you rotate the part like 90, 45, whatever degree it is, whatever the angle it is, and then uh, you know exactly if the tool hits something and the holder hits something. But this is like almost in real life because you know exactly the tool you stick out, you know exactly the gauge length is, so you know like close to exactly if gonna hit something or not. Okay, let's finish rendering this, then I'll show you on the machine shim. All right, let's turn machine shim on. Yes, okay, I know why. Get this one, I didn't select the MDD that built for that machine. Okay, the part doesn't show up, so let's do quick. It's not set up like this, but this one just a quick way to show you what it look like. Okay, so you have the whole machine loaded up, right? And then you just need to render that. This is just a 3-axis toolpath, so you don't see it very clear, that everywhere it's clear. But let's say if this table rotate 90 degree, or this c-axis turn somewhere, and then you will be able to use it to see if the tool holder or the spindle hit something. So it's very useful when you work with a small space, small area. But let's just do this. You can see one more so you can see. Go down or you can see Okay, I think that's it for this video. Well, after this video, you will be able to know many methods that you extract geometry, how to orientation a model, how to set up the tool with the 3D model, with the 3D holder model, so you can view it in machine sim or off sim when you want to check if it collides, if it crash into something or not. So this is the way that how you set it up the tool correctly. So I think that's it for this video, and make sure you subscribe, like or dislike, and comment out there if you have question or anything. See you next video then. Thank you. Goodbye.